Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is brought to you by our friends at Fangoria Magazine. That's right, the first name in Fright since 1979 is now an affiliate of America's Hometown Horror. And because of that, we can now offer you an exclusive 20% discount on any first-time magazine subscription or merchandise purchase by heading over to shop.fangoria.com and using the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout. That's shop.fangoria.com/HometownHorrorPod, or just use the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout for that exclusive discount on anything from Fangoria. Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is also brought to you by our friends at Horror Facts Magazine. Never heard of Horror Facts Magazine? Well, if you're a horror fan, they're a name that you absolutely should know. You can find them over at horrorfacts.com, and they're a great resource for all things horror, including news, reviews, editorials, and lots of other horror podcasts, not only limited to, but including America's Hometown Horror. So head on over to horrorfacts.com and check them out. Now, let's get on with the show. All right, hello, good evening, and welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. Thanks so much for checking back in with us. We certainly appreciate it. Hope you all are having a great Christmas season, a great December.
Christmas.
And my name is Mike, and I will be hosting you through this madness tonight, in which we do another horror fantasy draft, which I am stoked for. But first and foremost, here's where you can find us online. If you're interested in these sorts of things, first place is our website, which is ahpod.com. It's ahhpod.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Just search for America's Hometown Horror, and you will find us. And you can also email us if you feel so inclined at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also now leave us a voicemail at 508-927-1267. That's 508-927-1267. We're going to leave that voicemail line open from now on going forward, but we're collecting some voicemails for our 4th anniversary 200th episode bash.
We do have to,
and we hope to hear from you.
One thing, Bob Smith, was that his name?
Yeah, Bob Smith
from Australia. No longer allowed to call this hotline.
No, I think we
no more
I think
from
we
Bob
should hear
Smith.
from Bob Smith more often.
No more from Bob Smith. We can hear from Jay McLaughlin, but not Bob Smith.
Well, you kind of just gave everything away there, but we'll.
No, I didn't give anything away.
Well,
he doesn't know. You don't know.
I know
Yeah.
Bob Smith.
We got 2 voicemails
Bob
so far.
Salmakia?
Salmakia? What?
Isn't that from Seinfeld?
That's Bob Sacamano.
Oh, sorry.
Bob Sacamano is from Seinfeld.
Sorry.
But yeah, so anyway, you can leave us a voicemail at 508-927-1267. And a reminder that the most important thing that you can do for us, because Andrew brought this up to me earlier today before we started recording, and the most important thing you can do for us is leave us a review. Preferably 5 stars, if you'd like. Or if you think we need to improve on some things, if you're going to give us less than 5 stars, I would hope that you leave some comments so we can know what we can do better. Andrew brought to my attention, and I'd noticed it before, but I'm unable to see who leaves reviews. But our Spotify reviews aren't as great. Our Apple reviews are very, very good.
Spotify reviews suck, and I'm very surprised by that. 3.8?
We're like 3, yeah.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's no bueno. Who's giving us a bad review? There's only 8. Some motherfucker gave us a bad review.
Somebody's giving us an anonymous bad review, which I say to you, sir or madam,
We're sorry.
you
I have
coward.
my
And why? Why? Tell us
Yeses.
why. Tell us why. Tell us what we can do better.
No.
no.
Anyway.
I'm saying I know who it is.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different discussion for a different time. But I am joined by my fellow co-hosts, Kat, Andrew, and Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. How are you? What's up?
Hello.
What's going on?
Chilling.
Feeling
Christmas
in
time.
the Christmas spirit?
They did have Christmas music on.
Yule logs.
Full
Yeah.
of Yule
How
logs.
gay we both make this Yule log.
Making
dude.
the Yuletide
Or
gay.
Yuletide, that's what it is.
Got
Yeah.
the full crew here. A couple episodes left in 2023, and then some big stuff to start off
I
2024.
know. Isn't that kind of like weird? You're like, oh,
Another
so
year
is.
went
few
by.
more,
It's kinda weird.
few more episodes for the year.
I know.
Year.
I know we've been doing this for
Give it like
almost
30 years and we're all going to be dead.
I almost wrote in an email to a coworker to say like, let's connect next year, and I was like, oh, that's like punny, but also like
Hmm.
weird to say the
Yeah.
same thing. Like
It's like a bad joke when you hear
Well,
it.
it
you're
is.
like, oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I mean. It's a bad joke, but it's like a appropriate, weird, obvious joke that you're also like, meh.
No, it
Like-
sucks. I hate when people say that. My boss is
You
like,
could
see
have
you
said
next year.
speak to you next
Come on.
That's why I didn't.
Just
That's
say, I'll
why.
speak to you next month.
That's
Don't
why
do that.
I didn't do that.
Don't
'cause
do-
I was
don't do that.
Yeah. He's an older guy. I gotta let
It is, yeah, of course. You got to let them have their moment.
All right.
But it is
It's a
funny to
hard
think
joke to pass up on.
that
to be
we've
honest.
been.
I know it's
it's a dad
hard to
joke.
not say that though when you're like
See you
thinking
next
it,
year.
but
Oh.
It's
it's
just-
it's a terrible joke.
It's
a
wild,
terrible-
wild to think that we've been doing this for 4
See you
years, and we're
next
coming up on
year.
200 episodes, and
That's cool.
2024 will be our 5th calendar year doing this show, which is just insane to me.
This will be
But,
that'll be my second full year.
and we're happy to have you, my friend.
It's like 5
fully
gold
indoctrinated now to
rings.
this.
Yes, exactly. 5 gold rings. Exactly. Way to
Honored
keep the
to be
Christmas
here.
spirit going there, Catherine.
Thank you.
I do have to mention, as always, our buddy Shano at Skywheel Media, who is now handling all of our audio production and music production. He's been doing a great job for us. We've never sounded better. He does a great job making us sound as professional as he possibly can, I should
Makes
say.
it sound hot.
Yep, he does.
You-
And he's the best.
But
So-
still, some of us do sound like idiots, though, right, Kat?
Like you.
No.
But anyway, if
I
you
was
are
ready.
listening to this and you
I was ready for the deflect. I was ready.
if you're listening to this and you have a podcast that you'd like to up the level of your audio production, get in contact with us. We'll put you in touch with Shano, and he'll do the same for you. And that is Skywheel Media. Anyway, guys, what's been going on? I know we're getting this is the week before Christmas. Christmas, as of this recording, is
Crimby.
six days away, which I can't fucking believe.
Christmas.
Andrew,
Mhm.
we're at the end of our work season. Christmas is coming. The end of 2023 is coming. We've survived another year almost. We're getting there.
I'm going to start the roundtable discussion.
Oh, okay.
What do you want for Christmas, Andrew?
You're
It's a
not
weird
getting
question.
You want to
Kat.
pass? Okay.
I was going to say,
Michael?
moving on to the Christmas draft, because I think we all just want to get into
I
what we're
know,
gonna
but
talk
I
about.
mean, why
We
can't
all,
we?
it's Christmas
No, I have
season.
some,
I don't want your
quick hitting
fucking
things before we get into the
presents.
draft.
Don't give me your presents.
I just
got
no.
no
What
time for
what are you
that.
asking for Christmas? I mean,
I'm not asking anybody for anything. I'm asking for everyone to
thing.
shut the fuck up.
What are you?
Let's just fucking
What are you
talk about
asking
the
for
podcast.
Christmas?
That's what I'm
and
asking
or,
for.
And or hoping for in the new year.
Didn't even listen to what I just said, so you clearly don't give
Alright.
a fuck about what I want. For
I kind of just want to listen to you two banter
Trash.
back and forth.
Okay.
You can ask me or
let's-
Matt.
Let's okay.
Yeah, ask them.
Michael, what
Ask
would
someone
you
else.
like for Christmas and or hope for in the new year?
I like horror themed gifts. Those are usually my fun things. I like horror themed clothes. Those are always my fun things to get because nice horror T-shirt is always nice to rock, or a nice horror themed hoodie.
Nice. The Thing underwear.
Absolutely, the thing.
The thing underwear.
Man is the warmest place to
The
hide,
stuff.
right on the penis.
What if
patch,
it just
right
said like? What if it was the small thing? And it's just put it
The
down?
blob.
Oh, that's not very nice.
The baby dick? No, they
Yeah.
can't say that.
You don't
No,
even
that's-
know
Call it-
anything.
calling
You
your-
don't even know anything about my
Calling
thing.
your junk a blob.
Mike, I've said it many times, and I am of the opinion that you most likely have a giant hog. So
Well,
there's that.
Okay, Shano, don't cut that
For
out.
an
Thank you very
Irishman.
much. Yeah, for an Irishman.
I've
that's
seen him in a bathing
nice
suit.
thing.
He's got a huge wiener.
Wow. This is going to be an interesting one tonight. Matt, what do you want for Christmas, buddy? Since you're wearing a sick Rosemary's Baby themed T-shirt tonight,
And
not
it's
an
green.
acacia string
This
T-shirt.
is
is.
the
Yep.
second Rosemary's Baby T-shirt you have. Do you have
It is.
more than that?
No, I have one that's an actual just Rosemary's Baby. This is technically an acacia strain shirt. But they use this. This came out for Halloween. It is sick.
That is awesome. It's a good shirt.
I love a good long sleeve. Me and Sarah aren't like getting each other gifts. We're getting just stuff. Like we bought like a new TV mount because we're gonna put the TV up. We just got a bunch of electrical work done. So we're like, that's our Christmas. We're just doing everything.
That
for Layla.
makes sense.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. You guys bought a new house. Like
I'm always down to get some movies, dude,
yeah.
and books. But for like the new year, I want to read more, and not necessarily just horror stuff. I want to like read like nonfiction. I want to like learn some. I want to make myself smarter.
You should
so.
also do like tea, like
Yeah, I'll
hot, like a cup of hot tea.
Yeah.
You should get into tea.
We have tea. We
But
drink
if you're
tea.
getting into
We-
books,
every
I'm
week.
saying that's like wine
Drinking
and
tea.
cheese,
I probably
tea
would
and
have bourbon,
books,
but
it's
yeah.
kind of
Bourbon,
Bourbon and
bourbon's
books.
always
As
nice.
opposed
Sure.
to tea.
Well,
never-
depending on, well, I would say depending on the time of day, but also not really depending on the time of day
Yeah.
because
Instead
depending
of
on
eating a
what
cheeseburger,
you're
I'll
reading,
tell you
you
wiffle
may
ball.
want to
Yeah.
just be like, yeah.
Instead of tea
Two
on
completely different
bourbon.
things. Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't know.
I agree with you completely, though.
I like a wind down with a pour of bourbon. That's nice, and to read into
You
fall
read
into a
and you
book about the
drink?
Industrial
that's
Revolution.
so
This is why I will never
strange.
understand.
That is
I will
insane.
never understand these
Yeah.
creatures that they just want to fall down.
I don't
in-
get drunk.
You wanna, no,
I-
but
Like,
you
it's
want to
just like-
fall down into a book.
You just relax. Like people will like.
No, you're
I see like
relaxing.
women will get into a bubble bath with wine and read.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the
Read.
difference?
Oh, Cat gets into a bubble
Well,
bath.
maybe
with
not
I
wine,
didn't know
but
that.
no,
Some
It's
people
like-
do that.
just on
Yeah.
their phone.
I
Pokemon
kind of do that
Go.
every
There you
once
go.
in a while.
Yeah.
No, I don't fucking get into a bubble bath. That's what you're comparing me because I just said you like to read, and then you said she gets into a bubble bath. That's the
I'm
other
just saying.
option.
Well, she was
So
saying
what do
like
I do? Get
drinking
into a
and
bubble bath? I'm not getting into no fucking.
You're
bubble
taking that.
bath.
Hold on, because she was saying drinking and reading is like wild. I'm like, well, people do.
I-
That. Like,
I
I'm not
would
saying like
follow-
I'm
No,
gonna
I
be
don't think that's
shit
wild.
faced reading a book.
I mean,
Like,
that would be kind of fun though.
no, it wouldn't. It'd be a waste of my
Well, then
fucking
you,
time.
yeah, you're not retaining anything. No.
That's
You know what's
also-
you know what's
yeah,
just
that's
as fun?
also another
Smoking
point.
weed and jerking off. It's kind of.
That's
Oh, is
a whole
that too
different
aggressive? Is that
thing,
too
but-
aggressive?
It is.
No,
No,
it's
I mean,
I
it's
know
a-
it's kind of funny.
hey, listen,
no?
we all enjoy
And
different
now I feel
things.
awkward. 'Cause Nobody responded the way that I thought they would.
What we wanted to all be like, yes,
Yeah,
we
dude.
all also do that, and that's
Absolutely.
great.
I want you to speak truth, not lies.
I haven't
Catherine.
smoked weed.
What do you want for Christmas?
That you wanted to jerk off.
I want.
Do you want to smoke weed and jerk off as well? Is that,
I
did Andrew cover that for you?
Smoke
Yeah.
weed and jerk off. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, thank you.
Beautiful. Excellent. Why don't we move quickly into our news segment here? I do have a couple things I want to roll through real quick, and we'll go quick. First of all, rest in peace to Andre Brower, who is most famous for horror fans for being the annoying neighbor in The Mist, the classic 2007 film, and also to a guy named James McCaffrey, who was in a show called Rescue Me, which I really very much enjoyed.
That's a
He was
great show.
also in
We watched that for a while.
oh yeah, Rescue Me is awesome. He was
Great
also
job.
the voice of Max Payne in the Max Payne games, but horror related, he was the voice of a major character in the 2 Alan Wake games, which I talked about the most recent game on an episode a few weeks ago, which is very much a survival horror game. But anyway,
I give
we
an unpopular opinion real quick.
sure
Dennis Leary
the best.
sucks ball bags.
You don't even know what you're
I
talking about.
fucking can't stand
You're the
it.
worst.
I kind of feel like he could be a total dickhead.
I would have no.
I mean, I wouldn't be
He's from
surprised if he was a dick.
Massachusetts,
Oh,
right?
yeah, he's from
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Like Lowell.
He
Oh, yeah.
sucked in this. He was the douchebag dad in the Sandlot. He was awful in Finding
Nah,
Nemo.
you know what?
Finding Nemo, he basically got fucking shark bite fucking killed.
He's not in Finding Nemo.
Shark bite. Waha.
Yeah, he is.
That is
Dennis
not-
Leary.
That's Willem
No.
Dafoe.
Yeah, no, but I think
Dennis
he's
Leary
in
plays the
one.
saber-toothed
Yeah.
tiger in Ice Age, and he's also the
Oh, he's
male
the
ladybug in A
tiger.
Bug's Life. That's who Dennis Leary plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, he's in cool shit, and I feel like he played himself in Rescue Me.
He did.
He
I
definitely
feel
was like an
he-
alcoholic mess.
The
But I think he's
liked
sober
him.
now. He's
My-
probably doing
my
great.
only critique of
I
Rescue
hope
Me
he's
was
doing
that I
good.
feel like
I
he
still
wrote
like him.
himself into like a hero role that he would want to be if he was like living like the life that he wanted to live, which was kind of like okay, cool.
He's like
Just
this.
him
You know what
being
he
an
is?
alcoholic pillhead.
Dennis-
yeah,
firefighter
a crazed
instead of an actor.
maniac firefighter that
Dennis
takes unnecessary
Leary-
risks and gets fucked up and bangs a bunch of
Yeah.
chicks and acts like an asshole.
Dennis
Like, yeah.
Leary is the Sam's Club Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Nah, I think Dennis Leary's
No.
cooler than Mark
Dennis
Wahlberg.
Leary is 1,000 times cooler than Mark
I bet
Wahlberg.
Dennis
Yeah, I
Leary
think
kicks
so.
the shit out of Mark Wahlberg.
Absolutely,
like 15
all day,
years
all
ago.
day. I don't care how Jack Mark.
15 years
Wahlberg
ago.
is. Dennis
15
Leary
years
kicks
ago.
ass.
15 years.
Anyway, guys, by the
Not-
way,
not today.
Yeah.
Maybe.
couple
Same
release
club,
notes
though.
real quick, since you were just telling me to move along here. Thanksgiving, by the way, is now available to rent on demand for $19.99, so you
Ooh.
can rent Thanksgiving.
I didn't do that.
That will be out, and
That'll
Shudder.
be rented, and that'll be a podcast
Well, I mean,
in the near future.
should we actually cover Thanksgiving
Why
Or
aside
not?
from
save it
our-
for next Thanksgiving.
Or we could just, if we
No,
if we
it-
watch
Did it get,
it,
like,
if
did it
it
get
falls
really
in our
good
top
reviews?
10 of 2023.
In the
Oh yeah,
week
have
of-
you seen it? Yeah,
Just saying.
that's what I've been talking
I
about.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, anyway, it's available to watch right now. You can rent it. Shudder also released a big thing about their release schedule for 2024, and the most notable thing that I saw in there was a movie that I've been dying to see, and I was hoping I was going to be able to see before the end of this year, which is Late Night
Yeah,
with the Devil.
me
Oh
too.
man, I want to see
So,
that so bad.
I want to say something real quick.
Coming
Just-
to Shudder, by the way, April of 2024, with a theatrical release in March of
Yeah.
2024.
I wonder if that'll
Go ahead.
actually be wide. But
Hope so.
but just to put it on the table before we do our top 10, I always go by movies that become available. They
Correct.
could be released at a festival, or something like
Yeah.
that.
In
Fine. If
2022, but that's a
if-
2023 film,
right.
correct?
If it's not released,
That's what I'm
widely,
going by. Yeah. If
Yeah.
it's released in 2022 at a film festival and it doesn't get released till us,
don't abide
then
by.
it's 2023.
Because
Right.
So you gotta
Okay.
really look. for
Okay.
it.
I just want to make
There-
sure.
We are not
100%.
abiding by the IMDb or Wikipedia year releases because if it was released at festivals in a certain year,
We don't
and
get
then
to
made
We don't go to those.
available for
I-
wide
Because
release.
I was talking about your letterbox at
chlorophyll.
one point, maybe to Mike, and being like, "Wait, you put this in 2023, but it's 2022," and I don't remember what
It's
movie
not.
it was specifically.
Yeah,
but he
but
said,
that's-
"Oh, it was a release in the U.S. during 2023."
Yeah.
Dude, a lot of times this is the time of year when the best
It's on that list.
horror movies get released because they're all
I
getting
know,
But
released.
they're
now.
just
I
not
mean,
happening.
they just fucking come
They're
right
all
now.
now they're all just getting pushed to 2024.
Well, now that I
So we're already looking at a sick 2024.
2024 looks like a banger. Looks like we were like doing like kind of like we're like reorganizing.
building
We're like the Red Sox. Right
Yeah.
now, except
So
we're
I,
not signing anybody.
I listened back to, in preparation for our top 10 of 2023, I listened back to our top 10 of 2022 episode. And I think the stuff that we talked about in terms of obviously the top 10 movies, but the other questions in terms of like other stuff that we liked in 2023, I want to continue. So I'll send that to you guys. But anyway, so yeah, Thanksgiving there, Late Night with the Devil coming in 2024. Andrew, here's a piece of news that will depress you that I saw. So this is exciting to me. Universal and Blumhouse bringing a Lee Whannell picture for a Halloween release in 2024. The Wolfman originally was supposed to attach Ryan Gosling to be the Wolfman, and now not. Andrew, no more Ryan Gosling. He is an executive producer on
Here's
the
my
project.
question: is why didn't we continue the story of the 2010 Wolfman? Because that movie is
That movie's awesome.
Awesome.
I absolutely love that movie.
Benicio del Toro's phenomenal. That movie's so underrated, and no one talks about that movie, and it gets fucked over.
So,
So why didn't
I
they just
agree.
start at that point?
The,
Why
the,
we-
the practical effects in it are fantastic. I love
Anthony
Del Toro.
Hopkins is
Love
great.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
I love who's the other guy that was in The Matrix? Oh fuck, he's in everything.
Keanu Reeves?
Hugo Weaving. He's great.
Keanu Reeves, right? I'm
His,
like,
his daughter.
I don't remember what I got.
His daughter is Samara Weaving from Ready or Not. That's his daughter.
Oh,
Yep.
no shit.
Yep,
Okay.
another nepo baby. But anyway, so the
Nepo?
role
What
of the
is-
Wolfman has
what?
been taken over by Christopher Abbott, who is a guy that you would not know by the name, but if you saw him, you'd be like, I've seen this guy. He kind of looks like Jon Snow a little bit.
Yeah.
He was in
does.
season 1 of what was the Jessica Biel show that was on USA with
The
Bill
Killing?
Pullman? The Sinner.
The Sinner.
He was in season
Oh,
1 of
yes.
The Sinner, so he's going to play the Wolfman.
You're way too fast for me.
Love
right now.
me
You're
some
going,
Universal
like, a
monster
million
stuff. Love me some
directions.
werewolf stuff. So I am on board for this. And one more thing I just want to talk about real quick here, because I know this is totally a Mike thing. Not very many other people like the X-Files on this podcast as much as I do. But apparently there is an X-Files reboot in plans on Fox. And it's going to be produced by Ryan Coogler, who directed the Black Panther movies and I think also did the first Creed movie. So I think this is going to be.
Sounds.
They haven't said if it's going to
something
be.
I don't want to watch.
They have. Well, I mean, I'm as an
Agreed. Thank you for
as
saying
an
that.
X-Files nut, I'll obviously watch it. It's going to be hard to replicate the magic of the original series. He's an interesting director. I would be interested to see if it's going to be a complete new story or if they bring back some of the characters from the original series.
They should
I don't
bring
really-
back David Duchovny, but he should bang as many chicks as he does.
Just
in
be the character from
Californication.
Californication. Just bang everybody. Bang Scully from in episode 1.
Yeah.
Just
Or just
solve
be
the mystery.
banging aliens
Yeah,
the whole time.
bang aliens. Yeah,
That too,
even
that
looks
too.
scope.
I mean, that would be fun.
So yeah, X-Files. I mean, give me more X-Files. I'll see what it's about. And if it sucks, it sucks. If it's good, it's good. Cool. That's what I have to say about that.
Fair enough.
Last but certainly not least, Andrew, in a piece of news I thought would very much interest you. I know you're a fan of the movies and writing of Alex Garland, as are you,
Me too.
Matt,
Oh, yeah.
of Annihilation, 28 Days Later, and Men fame.
Civil
Man,
War. Is that
man.
what
You
we're
see the
talking
trailer for
Men.
Civil
about?
War?
I kind of really want to see that.
I kind of thought it was a dope trailer and a movie I really want to
What
see.
is it
that it's called
Civil
Civil
War.
War, and it's literally
It's about
what
a
it.
new Civil
So
I've
basically,
never
it
even heard of
is.
this. He wrote this.
He wrote it and he's directing it. It's coming out in 2024 from A24.
Oh, yeah,
Nick Offerman is playing the president of the United States, and there is a civil war that breaks out where essentially Texas and California secede from the United States, and there's a civil war. And
Does it take
Interesting.
place present day?
Yes, and it's very. They
Fucking
show.
California secede from the
They show. They show
With
a lot of
Texas.
airstrikes, a lot of violence.
With
With or
Texas?
against?
With
I'm assuming it's
Texas.
against.
I don't know.
Texas.
So I basically watch the trailer if you want, or don't. It's coming in 2024.
I
It
hope
looks
it's not
pretty
like
cool.
a thing to come.
And I just think
that
that
like-
no. I mean,
California would never
No,
do that.
They'd be like, we need
I
money
have
from
nothing.
every-
Yeah.
we-
They would have
can you give us some
nothing.
money? And we'd be like, fuck you. And they'd be like, oh, we will.
I think it looks really
We're the most
cool.
expensive
That's sick, dude. I didn't even know
state
about that.
Yeah,
gotta
I
check
mean,
that out.
it definitely looks like more of a thriller in the vein of like The Purge
Yeah.
versus like Alex Garland's usual sci-fi weird
It's probably
horror
fun.
stuff. But Kirsten Dunst is in it.
love
Jesse
Wow.
Jesse Plemons,
Oh,
Nick
wow. I love
Offerman.
when you said it, wow.
There's a few
Kirsten
other
Dunst.
actors.
Anything I
saw.
So it looks pretty cool, and you can watch the trailer now online. I think based on
Wow.
looking at the horror movies coming out in 2024, I think it's going to be a much more optimistic year for horror than what we got this year. So yeah, I hope so too. Anyway, that's what I got for news. Anyone else have anything to say? Since no one else is standing at the microphone. Okay, well I'll go fuck myself.
You
What We Do
would
in the Shadows
matter
ends
at
at
the
season 6.
microphone.
Yes, there we go,
So, I'm
Matthew.
so
Thank
sorry
you.
that-
So Matt, you brought up astutely one more piece of news that we glazed over that came out late in the day today before I wrote this
Yeah, it
outline, for this, which would be that What We Do in the Shadows, the FX TV series, ending after season 6, the upcoming season, which is bittersweet news for me.
You know what? I have to tip my cap because I've seen so many shows drive themselves into the ground. Quit while you're ahead. You're on top. The last season, from what I haven't watched it yet, I'm still slowly but surely kind of trickling episodes in. But from what I understand, that's the best season, arguably.
It's up there. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it just keeps getting progressively better in terms of like the storytelling. The
A lot of
laughs are
people say it's a lot
always still
funnier,
there.
yeah.
I mean, I think every season is hysterical.
Mhm.
Like some of the earlier seasons, I think are probably objectively funnier.
It's a niche sense of humor.
It really is.
But
But I love it. I can't get enough of it. But I agree with you. I think
I
there's
don't-
something to be
yeah.
said for people that are quitting, before it gets stale.
Yeah.
The
And that's what you
Walking
should do,
Dead did
too.
not do that. There's been a
Well,
lot
no,
of shows that
yeah.
have gone way too long. And you know what? I give credit to them for saying, hey, you know what? We got a good thing here. Why don't we stop? And who knows if
wouldn't it be
a
wicked
couple of
funny
years
if
they
it
come
ended-
back, something like that, or some sort of reunion in 10 years.
Would
that'd
it be wicked
awesome.
funny if they ended the exact same way The Sopranos ended?
Oh, that'd be great. Oh my god. That'd be awesome. So good. But yeah, so I mean, we've talked about that show a lot on this podcast, and it's one of my favorites. I feel like it's consistently, like, if you're a horror fan, you've probably seen episodes of the FX What We Do in the Shadows show, and it's fucking great. It's not obviously scary, but it's very funny, and it's just hits on all notes for horror fans out there. So sad to see it go. Happy to watch it leave is what I would say.
It's the emo office.
Well, there has to
An
be
emo
an end.
office.
There has to
Interesting.
be. There has
Kinda
to
like-
be an end.
so-
I don't.
So we
I don't
doing
want it to-
alliteration, new nicknames now, like emo office, boring Beetlejuice. What was the other one that we said?
Emo
Ian.
Office is an alliteration.
No, EO. That's two different.
Oh,
things.
kind of. Actually, yeah.
Kind of what?
I messed that up. I
Office.
messed that up.
Ooh, ooh.
Anyway,
I was just
What
saying.
did I?
I
forget
made
what
a
called-
boner.
What did I call boring Beetlejuice?
you called the others boring Beetlejuice.
yeah,
That's right.
That-
remembers everything apparently.
Catherine, I'm sorry, you were saying.
What did I say?
No, you were
I don't know
saying.
what I was saying.
I don't know. What
You were gonna
said
say
anything,
something
but you
about
were saying
What We Do in the Shadows.
I
We were
don't-
talking about What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, like an hour ago. I don't remember. What
All right,
it was.
moving on.
No, like 30 seconds ago.
It's fine.
All right. Well, that's what I have for news.
I'm gonna do this Guinness challenge right now
All
on
right,
air.
moving on.
Live. Ready? Okay. I'm gonna
Okay,
do it.
do it.
Do that on a
Ready?
Why don't,
video.
while you take the Guinness challenge, we pause a quick 30 seconds here for a word from our sponsor so we can pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
It's official. The critics' decision is in.
Spooky World is spectacular.
Enter the new Black Hole.
If you dare.
Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park. Spooky World. Sleepy Clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil.
is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then peek next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
All right, and we're back. Thanks for hanging with us. For the sake of time, and obviously we're getting to the time of year here where there's going to be a couple episodes coming up, especially this one, where we're going to talk about Christmas horror. I think a lot of us have watched a lot of Christmas horror leading up to this episode. And we've watched a lot of 2023 movies that we'll probably talk about at our year-end or top 10 of 2023 episode. So you'll get our thoughts on those there. But needless to say, we have been watching a lot of movies, a lot of things, we're excited to talk about this year in horror, even though it might not be as, at first glance, as good as some of the other years past. But anyway, guys, we are doing a Christmas horror draft. Notice I didn't say a Christmas horror movie draft because we opened it up to a bunch of different stuff other than just movies here for this, because there's a lot of Christmas horror out there. A lot of people like to, around Christmas time, watch heartwarming, uplifting, sometimes even nostalgic things that make them feel the Yuletide spirit all over in warm and fuzzy ways. I personally do not fall into that category. I like to watch as much fucked up Christmas stuff as I can around the holidays. Love watching Christmas horror. One of my favorite things to do. And some reason or another, we haven't done a Christmas horror draft this far into the podcast, almost 4 years in. So Matt, thank you very much for the idea.
You're welcome.
And what I will say, obviously, if you've listened to our show before, you know we love us some drafts. But if you haven't, basically what we're doing here is a snake-style fantasy draft. If you're in a fantasy football league, this will be very similar to what you've done when you've drafted your fantasy football team. And, yeah, we have a lot to choose from here. And without
so why don't we
further
start?
ado,
Draft order.
I would like to open up the draft order,
What'd you
which
say?
I already have.
Great. Who picks first?
He cheated.
Would be Matt first,
Let's go.
followed by Andrew, followed by Kat, followed by me at pick number 4. So no, I did not cheat because
I love this.
I have the
draft
last,
order,
Great.
the,
'cause
the
you're
last,
gonna get
the last
so mad.
pick, which means
Really?
that
The
Matthew,
draft?
you are on the clock, and I think the plan here is that we're going to pick 3 things
You're gonna
each,
pick my picks.
and then
I'm
maybe
gonna
see
pick my
where
picks.
we're at time wise, and
Okay,
go from
okay.
there. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
at least pick 3 things each, which will put us in a total of 12 things, and go from there. Matthew, you're on the clock, followed by Andrew.
Okay, number 1, first pick overall is 1974 Bob Clark's Black Christmas. It
I knew
is
that
the
was
best
what you were gonna
Christmas
pick.
movie
Fantastic.
of all time.
Love
It's
it.
the best Christmas
Same.
horror movie of all time. There's absolutely no contestant at all whatsoever. It is up here, and then the rest are here. But opinion, of course.
Yep.
But this movie fucking rocks. I still haven't watched it yet because I like to really wait. There's something about this movie that is it's extremely well made. There's a lot of underlying storyline that's actually interesting and like relevant to like today. The main character being pregnant, she wants to get an abortion. The boyfriend doesn't want her to. Stuff like that. It's very progressive in terms of being from the 70s, which is it's interesting. It's cool. And then the whole thing just plays out. It's a very fun movie to watch in terms of like you're anxiously waiting to kind of find out who's in this house, who's killing all these sorority people, blah blah blah. The killer. I know when we talked about this movie before, I think last year we did an episode on it. The killer Billy is fucking. You don't see him, but you can hear him.
That makes it scarier. in
It's
my
super
opinion.
scary. Like as it gets towards the end, there's still every time I watch it, there's scenes that like send a chill up my spine. He's like trying to open this door, and he's like screaming, dude, like trying to rip the
It's
door open, and
horrifying.
it's fucking intense.
Yeah.
This movie ran so that Halloween could walk. It's
This
fucking,
movie's way better than Halloween.
I
Not
agree.
even a
It's-
fucking
it's-
close.
I don't know that
I
I
think
agree
in
with
terms
that.
of I definitely think this is a scarier movie than Halloween.
way scarier.
They're pretty fucking close in terms
It's
of
the
how good they are.
definitive Christmas horror movie versus the definitive Halloween
Halloween
horror
horror
movie.
movie,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, but
It's
that doesn't
really-
matter
the
when
thing-
it comes
you know
to
what-
regards with which
What carries
one is
Halloween
better.
is the fucking music.
That's fine.
The music is
That's
fantastic.
true.
Music
That's very
though
true.
is
And it's iconic, like, but it's like this is they're very different.
This movie is fantastic.
I prefer Halloween personally, but I wouldn't begrudge anyone that preferred Black Christmas.
Yeah, no, I
understand.
I
get it.
have a hard time
Christmas.
taking now that I think about it, but
Such an easy pick. It's the best.
Well, because you
Easy
don't
number
like
one.
Halloween though. You don't like
No, I'm saying
not the
for
season,
I'm
but,
saying
like,
for
the movie.
Christmas movies.
Well, of course.
Well,
yeah,
Halloween's trash. I have no time
yeah,
for
see,
that.
exactly. That's
fucking
what I
movie.
was just saying. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
I don't have time for that.
The one thing I'll say, and I'll let you go after this, the wildest thing to me is that the same guy that directed a Christmas Story that plays on like TNT for 24 hours or 48 hours at a time around Christmas season directed Black Christmas. It's the same director, which is so fucking wild. to me.
shows how
he
good
has
he
a
is.
That
couple
he
other
can
like
have
really sleazy movies.
Two bangers.
Two such
Christmas
polar
bangers.
opposite movies about Christmas. One which is about like the joy of Christmas, the other one which is about the absolute opposite.
And they're
of
the
joy of
most-
Christmas.
They're the best
Wild.
Christmas movies.
Yeah,
Like A Christmas Story
Mhm.
gets played around the clock.
I think Christmas Story is a little overrated. It doesn't need to be played
I understand
24
that
hours a day.
I understand
It's
so
good.
great,
It's a
but
good
it's
movie.
also played around the clock.
I know,
Well,
I know.
Clearly somebody
they
likes
do
that.
on one.
There's a
what
reason.
Channel?
Yeah.
TBS.
TNT or TBS.
So they get paid money for it.
They play it for 24 hours, especially on Christmas.
Yeah,
It's probably
Literally,
cheap.
yeah.
And like on
It's probably
Christmas
cheap for
Day,
them
That's
to
all
pay.
you turn on that channel and it's like it's
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
all the time.
I-
And
I- and
remember
I like watching it on Christmas Day. Your dad really likes A Christmas Story, so
He-
usually
Yeah,
if he's
I
over
usually
on
will- I'll let
Christmas,
it
like
rip
we
all the
watch
time.
that. Like
It
I don't
doesn't
mind it.
my
No.
mom.
I
does
just don't
not
need to
like
watch it 8 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not for me.
One of the things though, and they say this in the 100 Scariest Movie Moments from Bravo, is like the first girl to get killed gets suffocated with a bag.
That's so horrifying.
She gets left there throughout the whole movie. That's the last shot of the movie. Is her panning out from the window. It's just like, dude, they never found her.
No,
up
she's
there.
just up there.
and
Yep.
And
she's
that's the-
who's been
that's
being
like
looked
that-
for the whole
That's
movie.
kind of the title
Yeah.
card too,
Like a
right?
Christmas
Yeah.
decoration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
and
good.
she's
when
just
you-
left there.
Because you
She's
look in the
just in
title
that
card
window,
and you just see this person with a bag over their head. You're like,
which is an
the
awful fucking
fuck
way
is
to die.
going on up there?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Just an absolutely
Easily the
terrible way to
most
go.
horrifying Christmas horror movie of all
Sorry,
time.
just keeping track of
All right,
movies
I'm
as well.
ready.
All right, so Maddie took
That's
Black Christmas, which means we're going to Andrew next.
So I'm going to go a little outside the box at this point,
I
just
am going to
because of the
hate
fact that
this.
Matt easily picked what is easily the number one Christmas horror movie. And after that, like you said, it's all a little fucking.
You're going to say that
It's
you want
fine.
to piss off Kat, is what you're going to say.
No, I'm not saying that. I would say though that the Black Mirror episode of White Christmas is easily the best episode of television in the sci-fi like horror kind of
You're
theme.
such an asshole. I told
Why?
this. I
I know.
told this.
But I was
earlier
just
today.
asking because I wanted to know
Oh,
when you
you're
might
such a-
pick it. So I
I
was
don't know
just
why
picking
you
it a
ever would have
little
even
earlier.
told him
I
and
know,
not realized that
I'm
he was
such
going to
an
do
idiot.
this.
I know. You're talking.
I was
and he's
figuring
like,
out
what are
where
you
I was going
do?
to
And
pick
I was
what.
like,
I was playing the
Well,
game.
You have to refresh me on what this one is.
It's
So
honestly
with
it's
John Hamm, where
it's
he basically
unbelievable.
is an interrogates people to give for them to like fess up to their crimes,
Mhm.
but they do it in such a scientific way where he's basically like puts himself. He has an egg that he like an
He
egg, and the other
talks
guy's
to.
like
It's weird.
like basically in like a cabin in the woods, like hanging out with John Hamm, and John Hamm's just talking to him like he's his best bud in the world, and in reality, he's just trying to get him to confess to something that
Well,
he
don't
did.
spoil it for him if he hasn't seen it.
Well,
Have you-
that's
have you not
so
seen it?
that is
I
from
don't think so.
2014.
No, it's
You
fine.
should-
I
True.
haven't.
But,
No,
but if he hasn't
okay,
seen,
yeah.
if he hasn't, it's really good.
For a
It's
Christmas watch?
extremely good.
It's 45 minutes.
It's a holiday
Okay.
watch.
That was
Let's-
during my Black Christmas like hiatus
I
because I
will
was
send
getting way too
you-
depressed watching it. I was like, I didn't think
It is a very depressing
White
show,
Christmas-
and
That's probably the
Yeah.
best episode
I
in
will
the
send
entire.
you-
there may not be a more depressing episode
It's-
of the show
yeah.
than this one.
That's why I like it so much.
So
yeah, that's why I like it.
if I may for a second,
Oh, that's up
I
my alley, right?
absolutely love this one. And John Hamm, fantastic actor, very handsome, all right, but great. Great as Don Draper, great in this. He is essentially in the entire episode, and it's an anthology within an anthology.
He's a salesman.
And
He's
it's
an
John
interrogator.
Hamm, as Andrew said, sitting there with Rafe Spall, who is from The Ritual. He was in Prometheus or Alien Covenant, one of the two. You'd recognize him when you
Prometheus.
saw
He
him.
was definitely in
Right.
Prometheus.
They're sitting together and you're trying to figure out how their stories connect, and they're each telling a story from their background where something happened that's fucked up, and it's all related to technology, and it all comes together at the end. And the reason it's a Christmas episode is because it takes place on Christmas. And the whole
Christmas
reason
dinner.
that they're getting each other to open up is that it's Christmas. Like, hey, I'm making John Hamm's like, hi, I'm John Hamm. I'm handsome. I'm making breakfast. Would you like to tell me stories about your life? And the guy's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then they just tell stories about each other's life until it comes to the end.
He has the
Essentially-
perfect face that does the,
Oh yeah,
like, you know what I mean? The smug fucking smile, just like,
dude. I mean, he's an absolute stud. If
Yeah.
only.
no, he is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolute stud. But yeah, Black Mirror is a fantastic show in general. This is one of the best episodes.
This is my favorite
bar
episode
none.
of
And
all time.
So, Kat, I know
This and Black
Black
Museum.
Museum's
Black
also
Museum
good. I
is
could
so
I could
good.
name you 10, but
That's
this is
when
one
it
of the
encompasses,
best.
like,
One,
the
one of the
whole
greats.
universe of Black Mirror. Like,
Kat, I know you didn't pick it because Andrew stole it from you. What
I
do you
didn't
love
steal
about this show?
shit.
You kind of did because
No,
she
I
told you she was
No,
going to
that's
take it.
Andrew's.
And I just
that's
was
Andrew's
curious
thing,
what
so are you
round.
ready to move on to number 2?
No, I'm saying what do you like about
Why
that episode?
can't we
Do you,
move on to number 2?
do you wanna
This
sh-
is
I
your
I
pick.
feel like this is we're in a draft though. I mean,
no,
keep
but
going.
we're talking about this stuff as it comes up. So now you
So
can't
what's-
pick it.
why do you like it so
why do you
much?
like it so much? Because I know why. I know you like it a lot.
I already.
You can't be
I
so
already
impressed
put
about
it
it.
down
John
on
Hamm.
my-
Yeah,
I already-
John Hamm.
I already deleted all my things. So
Oh,
like,
she-
I
Okay.
deleted my notes already.
All right,
It's
so
erased from
with,
the
with
brain.
pick with pick number 2,
It's
Andrew
erased,
goes
John.
with Black Mirror. I believe it's a season 2,
Season 2, episode 4.
episode 4. White Christmas, which means Kat is on the clock, followed by me. Kat, what's it going to be?
I'm gonna follow up with another TV series
Wow.
called Stranger Things.
Never heard
And
of
I'm gonna do season 1, episode 3 called Holly Jolly.
Okay.
When Joyce actually puts the Christmas lights on the wall for the first time and writes the alphabet.
I love it.
So
Okay, that's an interesting pick.
Wow, that's
I was
pretty-
not
yeah,
expecting
that's-
anyone to
that's a
even
good-
pick
yeah.
that. So that's
Outside
actually
the
outside the box.
box, yeah.
That's
oh
really
my
outside the
god!
box.
Oh wait, high five!
My
high
mind
five.
just went
High
like,
five. Woo!
what are you talking about? And then I was
So
like,
wait, season
Yeah.
1, episode 3.
Yes.
When
So that was
when Joyce
released
Byers puts up the
around-
iconic like Christmas lights
to
with the
speak to-
letters.
Yeah, to speak
So-
to
Speak to
yeah.
Will. Yes.
That's awesome.
Wow. Good
Wow,
call.
what a pick.
Yeah, nice job.
Wow. Good
Oh,
job.
oh, yeah, I
High
had
five.
2 high
I'm
fives.
glad I
Oh
didn't
my
give you the
God.
other one because you'd have 2 bangers.
I
They'd all
mean,
be
yeah,
loose.
I have another banger, by the way.
Oh,
But so
okay.
yes.
Good pick. Wow.
Yep,
Wow.
Steal that from me real quick. What is it?
So this episode Joyce ends up like communicating with her son and saying that like she does the whole alphabet on the wall, which is actually a thing that like
It's like a Ouija board.
exactly yes. And I was there for Halloween one time. So Mike and I
The
actually
wall?
went to the
Oh, and Mike was the fucking.
yes,
He was like the
Mike
fucking,
was the
he was
Demogorgon.
the worm.
He was the Demogorgon for Halloween
Mike was
one
the
year.
worm creature.
And it was funny because I literally wrote on I had a shirt that I like pin
Did you
lights
say
to.
worms?
No, that had the alphabet on it, and like
Okay,
it
cool.
lit up. So it was kind of funny
That's pretty sick.
that was. But that was the episode, and
It's a
that
good episode. Good pick.
well,
I kind of like
each-
that. That's very outside the box.
right. And so each episode, not episode, sorry, series of Stranger Things happens in a different time, like a timeline.
Yeah.
So like.
A different year.
No, a different time in the year. I
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What?
A different time.
Different-
Time.
a different
A
month.
different time in the year. What do you even say?
different month.
Time out. No, you don't get to
Time.
just say that and then walk
Time in the
away.
Year.
Different time of
Mike
year.
said like a
Time
different
of
different year, and you just went no, a different time in the year. Like I'm Willy Wonka, like you're creating some fucking
What do you
Wonka bar.
mean?
You're
Like,
spewing
time of the
nonsense.
year,
Different
like-
time of the year.
Well, I mean, like it happened on like
I guess that makes sense. I thought it was ridiculous.
on like the
but-
4th of July, on Halloween, on
Yeah.
like seasons, like weird times. Like Stranger Things would get released. Like it was just based on different not even seasons, but like holidays. I don't know. Like they would
Well,
they would release things on a certain
so they have done that
time
before.
that
So Stranger Things, when season 1 came out, they didn't know it was going to be the phenomenon that it was, so it was just released whenever. I think at like the beginning of the summer. Season 2 was set around Halloween, so it was released in October, and then season 3 was set in the summer, which I know they released around like the 4th of July. So season 4, I forget because it takes place over across bunch of timelines, or I don't know what.
So
Anyway, so
yeah, I was talking
Stranger
about
Things season 1, episode 3, right? So what else?
It was season 1, episode 3 when they first. Yeah, that was pretty much like it was around Christmas time. They had Christmas lights, and she was trying to talk to Will through the lights.
The lights.
I get it, and I would concur with you. I would say one
And
of them.
then ended up like writing the outfit on the wall, which eventually I put on my shirt that we eventually wore to a Halloween party.
That's right. I was dressed
where
up as
Mike
the
was the
Demogorgon,
Demogorgon.
and you were the wall with the.
So you were
Christmas
the
lights on.
worm.
I was the.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
it's
was
not really a worm.
he was the worm.
It's kind of a worm.
To be fair,
It's a monster.
he
It's
still
a
is
worm.
the worm.
It's a
He's
monster.
still
It's a
the
worm.
I still have the
monster.
costume.
It's a
Do
fucking
you want me to
worm
go put it on right now? It's a monster.
Yeah.
It's not a worm. Anyway,
My worm.
definitely an iconic use of Christmas lights, I would say, in recent pop culture with Stranger Things. So good call, Kat. I would have never expected anybody to pick that. So I'm very excited that you did.
You should be more excited for my next pick.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to see. But yeah, we all have we all have eclectic tastes, which is what I like, and we all bring different opinions to the show. So I mean, I feel like I have to go Gremlins here with the final pick of the first round. Gremlins is like the gateway horror movie that's set at Christmas that just as a kid I just will never ever forget. I love this movie.
Movie rocks.
Yearly rewatch for me. Joe Dante is fucking awesome. The practical effects are fucking awesome. It's set at Christmas. It's produced by Spielberg, so it has that Steven Spielberg feel to it. It's just like it's just violent enough that this was one of the 2 movies that Steven Spielberg brought to the Motion Picture Association of America, along with not Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Poltergeist?
Indy and the Temple of Doom, along with Poltergeist. There were 3. All those movies are rated PG. And he said he should probably not have these movies rated PG. There should be some sort of additional, middle ground between PG and R. So anyway, it's like there's some shit in this movie that's like ultra gory and fucked up for a kids movie, like the gremlin getting baked alive in the microwave, and like people getting put into like, wood chippers and
processor.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's wild shit. But it's just such an iconic movie. I love this movie so much.
I watched this with Layla the other day.
Yeah.
And she liked it. And when they drove the plow through the dude's house,
great.
She was like, "Oh no, they broke his house." I was like, "Yeah, they did break his house.
They sure did break his house." The bar scene with all of them at the bar, drinking and smoking, and she's behind the bar,
serving them
behind the bar, serving them beers,
just trying to keep up.
And there's
She's
one
in the
that
weeds with gremlins.
There's one that flashes her from the trench coat, like with sunglasses on. They're all smoking butts and just drinking beers, getting hammered, putting money in the jukebox, like
ripping it up, dude.
Such a great satire. Like it's awesome. I love Gremlins so much. I know
she's serving them was funny.
Wild. Yeah.
It always tracks me. Even as a little kid, I'm like, why isn't she getting her?
I feel like for me, like, I love like scary, super serious horror, but like there's something to be said about a movie like this where like it's clearly satire.
Christmas
and they
horror.
know that like everyone's laughing at this point, so they kind of almost like acknowledge that. Like I love that.
Christmas horror is like it's almost a given that it's like you can't. Other than like Black Christmas, like because that movie is fucking pretty mean, but like you kind of lean into the fact that it's going to be like someone in a Santa suit is getting killed or killing.
Oh my god! Of course.
So
yes,
yeah.
And also the design of the creatures, fantastic. I feel like they caught lightning with this, and they made 15 spin-offs for the rest of the 80s. Critters. Yeah, Critters was the big one that I was thinking of. But yeah, Gremlins. I mean, how could I not pick it at number 4 overall while it's still there? So I'm going with Gremlins. I'm going to go next with the first pick of round 2. There's a big one here, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go with a TV episode. One of my favorite TV shows of all time. We were talking about this earlier. And Matt, Andrew, you saw there's probably a book up on my table up there, and this would be an episode of the X-Files called How the Ghosts Stole Christmas. This is from season 6, where essentially it's an episode. There's 4 actors in the entire episode, and this is kind of a microcosm as to why a lot of people really like the X-Files, because it is ultimately deep down about the relationship between Mulder and Scully, where it's those two and then 2 ghosts, and they're in a locked room mystery in a haunted house on Christmas Eve together. And the 2 ghosts are played by Ed Asner and Lily Allen, and they're both fucking great. But it's a really good episode. It's set on Christmas Eve, and it kind of gets to the roots of like, you know, the ghosts are making fun of Mulder and Scully because they don't really have anybody. Like, why are you guys here on Christmas Eve, you losers? Like, you should be at home with your families. Oh wait, you have no families.
Fucking narcs.
Right. So it's really like a good exploration of like their relationship. If you like the show, that's what a lot of people liked, was Mulder and Scully's relationship during the entire show, and people wanted them
Did they
to
ever
get
smooch?
together. And they did. Oh yeah.
They smooch.
Oh, they sure did. They sure did. They boned. They boned a little bit
They
too.
smooch parts.
Yep, they sure did.
Cool.
Yeah, but this is just a really good one.
Cool.
You know, ton of Christmas music in it. Starts off on Christmas Eve, ends on Christmas on a positive note with you know, them exchanging Christmas presents. And I know I'm the only one that's seen this, right? Nobody can comment. So
Yeah, I've never seen
No
yeah,
confirmation.
there's a layup for some of the other stuff that's out there. So yeah, that would be the X-Files, How the Ghosts Stole Christmas. I'm not sure what episode number, but it's in season 6. So yeah, it's on brand for me. Gremlins and the X-Files, which would mean that it is back
turn.
to Kat
Oh,
for her pick.
my pick is a which I don't know if Mike would.
Just pick it.
It's from a TV series called Nosferatu.
Wow.
From season 1, episode 1.
That show sucks. I can't believe you picked an episode of that TV show. That show sucks.
Wow, what a fucking burn roasted. Jesus.
This
Kat, your
guy
show sucks.
who drives around in a Rolls Royce named Minx,
Yes.
he plays music in his Rolls Royce Christmas tree, like just driving around.
Or
and
Christmas.
he-
OER Christmas tree.
Christmas
not
tree,
or,
and he
or.
then would kidnap little boys and bring them to Christmas
Why are you laughing
land.
about that?
Like,
Jeez.
this is
It's a fucked up
it's a
story.
very
Yeah.
fucked up story.
There is a
this
Christmas.
was a series that came. I don't know all the background of
So
the series, but
we watched it together. So this
Mhm.
it's based on a novel by
Joe King.
Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. And
yeah,
Joe Hill, that's right. Joe
yeah,
King,
basically,
Joe
so
Hill.
this
Joe
guy
King.
is
Whatever.
almost kind of like
He's joking.
a vampire that like sucks down souls instead of blood type thing, and he takes all the kids to his magical land, which is called Christmas land. So it's like
Wow.
very
oh yeah, it's very
the
dark.
whole thing's very Christmas themed, but there was a Christmas episode of the first season that came out, which I know exactly because we watched it together. It just, I wish it was better. AMC was trying to do the Walking Dead
I mean,
fucking
I
thing
feel
with
like
it.
it was good, but we just didn't get like by the time we eventually stopped watching it. But I
We
mean,
did.
I liked it more as I kept watching it.
What?
But
So you never finished it? Just started
I think
watching
it. I
What
think
are
it
you
just
saying?
I think it got canceled. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't
It
think
did
it
get
made it
canceled.
very
Yeah,
far.
it did.
Yeah.
Sounds like
so
a
it
cool
didn't-
show.
No, but it was a good show for like the length that it was on for a while. But anyways, and it took place in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Yeah, it was
That's why I kinda
Massachusetts.
was like,
There's a town I would never
Oh,
go
well,
to.
no, I'd
Ooh.
never go there. But I'm like, it's in Haverhill, Massachusetts. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give this a watch. Like just because,
Because it's
Kind of,
Massachusetts, dude.
but it's not actually Massachusetts.
Fucking North
It's-
Shore, dude.
Dude, I've
been
in that restaurant
Let me-
before. I've
let
been.
me
It's not
watch it
Haven
again
Hill, it's Haven Hill.
Let
Haverhill,
me
yeah.
watch it so I can hate this. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Nosferatu.
But
I
it
was not
was-
expecting that
but
to
it
be
was
picked.
NOS
Wild pick.
for a.
Yeah, it's like so basically
not-
it's called Nosferatu because
It's not
the main villain, the car that he drives is N
the license
O
plate.
S
Yeah,
number 4 A number 2.
and
So it's like,
you. It's
get
not
it,
number
get
2.
it.
it's-
All right, so Kat with 2 off the board picks. I'm kind of very surprised, but pleasantly
Wow.
surprised. So, all right, that means Andrew,
Sorry.
we're back to you for your second pick.
I'm gonna go with Christmas Evil.
Fuck.
Fucking love
God
that movie.
Damn it, dude.
I think it's like Maniac with this weird little boy who just happened to walk in on
This was
mommy
gonna
getting
literally be my
fucked
second
by
pick.
Sandy Claus,
Yo.
and then he just has to live with that
mom
the rest
was-
of his life. He was like, I thought Sandy Claus was here to bring gifts and cookies and presents, and he didn't bring any of that. He just brought disappointment and just the
Shame.
sad shame that like lived over
Damn,
his
I can't believe
eyes
you
for the
just picked
rest
that,
of
you
his
son of a
days.
bitch.
I feel bad for that motherfucker. That guy got like the worst shaft in life. Could you imagine?
Um,
That's what you get to see.
I guess, but I'm not gonna.
I also wouldn't
I'm
murder
not
my
gonna
whole
go
family and everybody
base my
else.
life off being Santa Claus after that.
No, I probably would be the opposite of Santa Claus, which is literally anything you.
I would have
want.
been like, "Hey, my parents are perverts."
But isn't it the saddest story though that you could come up with from that point?
It
of
is
view?
tough, dude. That guy's
It's
a loser.
such a brutal, like it's brutal because you're like Jesus Christ, and then things
He
that happens,
snaps, dude. It's a great
he
movie.
loses his fucking mind, and it's
Also, a great.
he
title,
does a
Christmas
great
Evil.
job.
And it was originally supposed to be called "You Better Watch Out."
You better-
You better fucking watch out
Yeah.
because that
When you
creep's going
watch
for
it, that's the title card that comes up.
I like how descriptive you were as well. It was very descriptive.
Yeah,
of the,
you
the
really got
sexual
in there.
relations. Yeah, you sure got in there and stuck your nose right in there and sniffed.
Well, I don't
around.
want to give it away too much.
It is a great movie. I just watched it for the first time
What
this
are
year,
you?
and I
What
was,
are
I
you?
was,
What did you say?
I was pleasantly
I literally said
surprised.
Santa Claus fucked his mom.
No, it was a joke.
your
It was a-
nose
it
and
was-
sticking
Okay. I was
around.
like, did you not understand what I
No,
was
I
saying?
understood. I
But
understood.
she got me all riled
Sorry.
up.
Hold on.
I can't believe you just picked that.
What do you mean by
God,
saying?
Are you mad about that?
I am. That was going to be my next pick.
Hold on,
Sorry.
hold on.
Son of
All right,
a bitch.
Matt, continue.
For next pick or talking about Christmas Evil?
Whatever you were talking about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
What?
No, I was saying
We're
I
talking
just
about
I
the
just
movie.
watched it for the first time this year, and I was surprised by how enjoyable this movie is.
Oh, that's the
Very-
first time you had watched this
Yeah,
movie?
it's a great fucking
It's
movie.
fucking
1980,
out of
like
control.
it.
I was going to
it-
ask what year it came out. so
Yeah,
I've never
it
seen
gets
this.
everything,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay.
It is
Um,
Maniac.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's a little
he's
toned
Tony
down.
Spinelli,
yeah.
but it's like
He like keeps like a naughty and nice
He's
book of all the kids in
pretty
his
fucking-
neighborhood,
he's
dude. Like
so
it's
creepy.
fucking creepy.
dude, and then the final scene, like with the giant
Moss
explosion, was
Garcia.
fucking-
Moss Garcia,
Like,
he
what
like
the
catches the
fuck
kid
is
like
going
looking at a
on?
penthouse.
Yeah, dude, it's
Moss Garcia, and he
fucking
like fires his
the
name into the
weirdest
naughty
movie
list.
I've ever heard of ever.
Yeah.
Which makes it
It
so
is
good.
creepy.
It's
All right.
underrated as fuck.
Oh,
Christmas Evil to Andrew. Matt,
boy.
you're up for 2, my friend. 2 in a row.
Mm.
Well, I guess the world really is my
Last pick of round 2 and first
world
pick of round
really is
3.
my oyster, huh?
It sure is.
No.
So I'm gonna go with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Ooh.
This is another one that has to do with childhood trauma in terms of the Santa Claus. This guy, the oldest kid, he sees his parents get killed by a guy named that's dressed as Santa, and then one day he snaps during a Christmas party and is dressed as Santa and starts killing everybody who's basically doing anything that is sexual or like amoral, because he got put into like a Christian orphanage where nuns were kind of beating the fucking daylights out of him.
Fucking
Jesus.
nuns.
Dude, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot of lots to
Awesome.
unpack.
Yeah.
So
Goddamn Catholic Church.
there's a lot of really
Bro.
fun scenes though, and it's very interesting. I own this on a Blu-ray, and it's like the quality is still like VHS quality. It's not great, but there's certain scenes that because it was so heavily cut, this is uncut, and so all the scenes that were put back into this new cut, like remastered version, are extra fucking like thumbed down in terms of quality. So all of a sudden you'll be watching it and it'll be like it just switch. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And it's because of all these cuts. They were like almost destroyed. Like they almost got rid of all these extra scenes with it. But like there's a great. It's campy. It's fun. It's a Santa that's going around killing people, and then there's a bunch of ridiculous sequels that come with it.
Sounds good to me.
So that'll be number 2 for me.
Night,
So
deadly night. All right, what else?
I could-
Matthew.
I could steal one, I think, from you, Mike.
Is it your turn now?
It's my turn again.
Oh,
I
you
guess,
got the
too.
double
Here's
wrap.
a snag.
How do you know?
I'm not going to pick one because I already talked about it in our 90s draft. I'm not going to pick another one because it's a little bit too brutal. I don't exactly think it's my favorite. I'm going to go with Don't Open Till Christmas
Oh,
from 1984.
Interesting.
It's Edmund Purdom. This is a British movie. I just watched it the other night for the first time. This is
I've
another new
never
one for
seen
me.
it. Yeah.
So this is opposite. This is a guy who's killing people who are dressed as Santa Claus, and anyone can get it. So, but it plays like a giallo. You don't know who
Ooh,
the
I
killer
like
is.
that.
It's a mystery. You're kind of figuring it out. There's some good kills. It's gory. The music's great. Even Sarah, we were watching it while we wrapped presents last night, and I told her I was like, I want to finish watching this movie. She's like, all right, whatever. And she's like, this is like one of your like Italian movies. I was like, yeah. I was like, it's British, but like it definitely is like close.
Giallo.
Yeah. So this is a pretty fun one. It's very sleazy. There's a lot of like, it's like naked chicks and gore.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what
Don't
you're gonna
tempt me
get.
with a good time.
But hey, it's a fun one. It's a good mystery. You're following along. There's what do they call them? Red herrings, where you're kind of getting led in a direction you think is, you know what I mean?
Yep, that's red
So
herring.
that's going to be my number 3. Do not open or don't open.
Don't open till Christmas. Okay. I was going to ask what that was again. Where did you find that one? Just out of
It's
curiosity.
on Shudder.
It's on Shudder.
But I knew about it. There was a Vinegar Syndrome. I think it was Vinegar Syndrome that did a release of it this past year, and I wish I bought it when it came out. But I'm kind of weary about buying movies I haven't seen,
Sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of,
especially when they're $40 fucking a pop.
I was gonna ask like what the average like good collectors like Blu-ray.
It
goes for.
depends.
$40
like,
like
Yeah, but you get these special editions that are like the big sets. Those can go anywhere from
oh yeah,
60
I would say
to
that.
80.
So it's an expensive collection.
Yeah,
much,
but then
yeah.
you can get like people. I follow Facebook groups and people sell them. Like they'll sell their copies of collections, and like the people sell them for $20. So it's like okay, like that's
fair
not
enough.
bad. So I just bought a bunch of movies, a bunch of Asian foreign movies that are coming over. I saw The Devil.
But
Evil
you
Dead
bought
Trap,
those
Evil
not
Dead
to
Trap
sell
2.
them. You want those.
No, I want to
that's-
own them.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't
want
own
to
them
sell
yet.
them.
I want them.
No, I'm saying any movie you buy, you
I
just
want
want
them.
to own
them.
them.
I want those.
And then there's one more.
Give me that.
Give me that.
Give
I
me
saw The
Give me-
Devil is
give
a
me that.
crazy movie. If you guys haven't watched that, but I got Evil Dead Trap and Evil Dead Trap 2, which are fucking both crazy. And then what the fuck? The last one wasn't even like that, like obscure. Oh, there we go. It was Tale of Two Sisters.
A
So
Tale of Two Sisters.
yeah, that's a good ghost story.
Sounds like a porno.
It's not. It was on the 101 Shudder scariest.
Was it really?
Yeah.
two girls.
It's the
one
Asian
fucking
movie with the
one.
lady when she's like looking under the kitchen counter and
Oh, okay.
fucking guy. He's buying porno on DVD.
Sorry. No.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm
I'm
sorry. Past that point in my life.
No, I'm stoked about those. But yeah, no, I wanted to get. I'll end up buying.
Internet.
I'll end up
Right,
buying
yeah.
Don't Open Till Christmas at some point. I already have Silent Night, Deadly Night. I have Black Christmas. I want to get Christmas Evil too, but there's not really any good releases for it. Maybe this year there'll be a good one. So-
All right.
So they're a little hard to get, so they might be worth more.
No, they're not that hard to
'Cause they're
get.
Shit.
It didn't get like a big fancy like slipcase. Like You know what I
That's
mean?
I mean. It's like a shit version of it. It's like not the best.
it's
Well,
it's just like not as like cool looking.
Well, yeah, I
Like,
would
yeah.
rather the cool looking one.
Yeah. So
Right. No.
All right. So that's
No?
Don't Open Till Christmas. Andrew, you're up next for your third pick.
Oof, that's tough. I'm gonna go with I love American Dad. I think that show's highly underrated.
Ooh.
In the Krampus
Ooh.
episode where Steve it's like a musical.
All right. Give me anything Krampus. Explain this to me. Like I'm 5. I want to know what
Okay,
this is.
so the
I
name of
can
the
watch.
episode is Minstrel Krampus.
Minstrel. Okay.
It's a play on words
I get it. I get
for
it.
menstrual
I
cramps.
understand. Yes. Okay. What happens in said episode?
So Krampus, Steve's being a bad boy, and Krampus comes and gets Steve, and then Steve's dad and his grandpa come and hunt for him, and it's like a Santa Claus episode. It's so fucking good. It's ridiculous. It's like a musical. It's like the one with the hot
It
tub.
sounds
Do you ever
great,
see-
Andrew.
you ever see the
Thank
hot
you.
tub one with CeeLo Green? CeeLo Green is the hot tub, and he's singing to them.
I haven't
No,
seen it. I don't really
As,
watch
as I
it.
told you before, I'm not a big
American Dad is-
American
yeah.
Dad guy.
Highly underrated show.
Sarah watches it.
I
So
love
American Dad, Krampus.
I know the
episode.
song
Just wanna make
comes
sure.
on
Minstrel
after Family
Krampus.
Guy.
I gotcha.
Menstrual Krampus.
Menstrual Krampus. I see what you did there, and I see what they did
Cool,
there.
great. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for your contribution.
Way to go,
Way
Seth
to
MacFarlane.
fucking
Hey,
be. All right.
Andrew can pick whatever he wants. It's
I
okay.
thought it was
We're not
a
going to begrudge him for the pick.
fantastic
You
episode.
picked whatever you want. Andrew's
And
picking
you
whatever
haven't
he
seen
wants.
it.
Matt's
You
picking
haven't
whatever he
seen it,
wants.
so
I'm
you
picking
can't
whatever.
talk
Yeah,
about
so
it.
easy,
Okay,
easy there.
It on my book. But
Easy killer.
Jesus
Stop
Christ.
eating Ritz bits on the microphone, please.
Dude, why don't you have peanut
Kat.
butter ones?
It's your third pick. What are you going to pick next? Do you have something? Do you have an idea?
I do.
All right.
I'm gonna pick A Christmas Horror Story.
Oh, that's a good pick. That's
Yeah, it's a good pick.
I
That's
like
on
that.
Shudder right
William
now.
Shatner?
Yep.
The one
Shatner.
that we covered that, correct?
We did, yep.
With the
I haven't seen
Krampus versus
We did.
Krampus versus Santa.
I think it's actually very.
I think we
And
did it
it's-
like 2 years
it's
ago.
a-
It was
it's a
before Matt, I
very-
think. Or
it-
you
it-
maybe you were here? I don't know.
I don't remember,
It's very solid.
but
I think it was before Matt.
Shauna's gonna have a lot of fun editing out. all
I know.
this.
I'm so sorry, Sean. I'm
Kat,
gonna move
stop.
all
Yeah,
these.
seriously,
I
come
know.
on, come on, come on.
There's a
I
game.
wanted some
How many?
Reese's bits, and I I put them on the table, and I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, Sean. Okay. Don't forgive me. I promise.
Okay, can you
But
finish talking
anyways,
about yeah.
Yes. The Krampus Santa scene is by far awesome. Like Krampus versus Santa
the one
while they're fighting
I know, yeah, I
is
know the one you're
Dude,
talking
I
about.
think you're from like Michigan. You just said by fur.
By
You was
fur.
like
Fur.
by fur, the best fucking scene I've ever seen. I was like, I feel like you're from like.
what
the
do you mean
Midwest.
by fur?
You just said by fur.
No, sir.
Yeah, you
No.
kind of did. I'm sorry.
At the very end, Krampus fights Santa, and they have this like crazy duel, and it's awesome. And that is
By
Like,
fur, the best thing.
by fur.
By fur.
By
The fuck-
fur.
You just
The
want to
best-
say, just say by
The
fur.
first,
Wait,
the
just say
first freaking fur thing that you could ever freaking fur. So I mean,
Good
I
lord.
don't know.
Dude, you got to go eat some fucking latkes
Okay,
in like
alright,
the
whatever.
Midwest. You like burf hair.
So that's my fact.
We don't need that either.
Next.
Oh.
I can talk about other white people.
Yeah, next time.
So if
Alright,
I'm
People
if
from
I'm,
Minnesota are white
Jeez.
people.
if I'm typing
Better
this
put
into our
somewhere.
Google Doc, I'm sorry. What am I typing in again?
By fur.
You're
Like-
typing fur.
Well,
All
essentially.
right,
that's
next,
what
move
she
on.
said.
Who's next on the pick?
Good stuff. That'd be me. So I feel like at this point, how can I not take Krampus? Nobody's picked it yet. I mean, I know that it's a movie that was
It's because it's basic. You're a basic bitch.
it's basic. It's definitely basic. I told myself I wasn't going to take Krampus
just saying.
and Gremlins in this draft, but
But
you know
you
what? I
did.
feel like I
But you
had
did.
to. It's
Here you
still
are.
there.
No
All
one
right.
else did.
You're like,
You know
I
what,
thought I
you're-
wasn't going to jam worms up
You
my
know,
ass, but I kind of
If
did.
I were to guess on the next pick,
Listen
Mike
to
has.
Statler, Waldorf, and Matt over here.
If,
Jesus
if,
Christ.
if the next,
You're going to
the
jam
next-
worms up your bum. You know,
the
that's what you
next
did.
pick Mike
It's fine.
has is the Creep Show episode with the
You
with
can't
the,
tell
with
his
Santa.
picks.
That's gonna be his
It
next.
was Tales
pick.
from the Crypt, but
Yep. Those are
Yeah, well,
Yep.
they were
I
gonna,
almost
they
picked
were
that
going to be
one.
honorable mentions.
It's
So
a good pick.
I mean,
There's
but
nothing wrong with that pick.
okay.
Just saying. That's gonna
Cramp.
be my prediction.
Sorry, I mean,
under over how much money?
hey, listen, you two idiots. I would say
This isn't a
Krampus
gamble.
holds a nostalgic connection in my mind for me because it was the first time we ever attempted to record a podcast, the three of us. And the movie's great. I like it. I watch it every year. It's fantastic. So have to pick it. And I would say normally I'd say go back and listen to our first episode ever about Krampus, but probably don't do that. The sound quality is terrible. We used an awful
Don't do that.
microphone.
It was
Didn't work out
terrible.
Very good. So guys, time for probably some honorable mentions. Anyone want to bring anything up? I have a couple.
yeah,
Matt,
a couple.
Kat, Andrew. No, all right, Matt.
I
Why don't you
do,
go first?
I was gonna bring up Day of the Beast, but I talked about that on the '90s draft.
Okay.
It's a Spanish movie. Alex de la Iglesia, about a priest who teams up with a metalhead record shop owner and a TV magician to
Okay.
try and get close to Satan so he can stop the birth of the Antichrist on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Wild fucking movie.
Kind of sounds like a Woodland Critter Christmas a little bit.
It's pretty funny.
Also, could have been drafted here. I would have accepted that.
I thought about it, but it was like such like an over the top wild card.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like I just
And
didn't
I also-
want to. I didn't want to bring it into two drafts.
No, it's
so
It's
it is a really fun movie though. If you haven't seen it, it's from Spain. It's fucking great. And the soundtrack is like all like original like rock song. It's fucking cool.
all right. Okay.
I had the French Extremity film Inside
Inside.
with the woman trying to rob the pregnant woman of her baby
Oh, I
because
remember
that takes place also on Christmas Eve.
remember you talking about that.
Brutal
before.
movie. Black Christmas 2006. I just watched this the other day for the first time. Not a bad fucking remake. I talked about it last week on the pod.
So that actually holds weight for me coming from you because feel like I was hesitant to watch. Oh wait, no,
No,
you're
it's-
not
it's-
talking about
it's-
the most recent one. This
No,
was
the 2006
2
one.
remakes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad. It's still like it's not perfect, but like for in terms of just like a slasher, it's violent as shit. It's gross. It's gnarly. It's
Okay.
mean. It's definitely an easy, quick 90-minute fucking watch.
What's better, this remake of Black Christmas or the 2003 remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Jessica Biel?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, all right. So,
Easily.
That's just a better movie.
It is.
But this
It
isn't.
is.
This isn't. This isn't
so
a
much
bad.
better.
This
Jessica
isn't a bad
Biel.
movie.
fucking-
Not even just. I
and
mean,
then-
that
Yes,
whole
but
movie.
even just Jessica Biel, and it's way better. Shut
Ta-
up.
and then I have
Stop.
Tales from the Crypt, season 1, episode
Oh,
2,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and
second
All Through
episode.
the House.
Dude, so good. I watched it today too.
That's
Really
so.
good.
There's a movie in the 70s, an anthology movie. I think I brought up on our anthology draft. Somebody might have. I can't remember if it was me, but that's also Tales from the Crypt. The same
Yeah.
thing is in it.
I know.
Same story.
I love
This-
EC Comics.
This
Horror
episode
stuff.
was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who did
Back to the Future,
and Forrest Gump.
Who Framed
and-
Roger
yeah,
Rabbit.
Yeah,
Like that's
Wow.
him. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, dude, he was like the big guy behind the whole series. So he directed a
Yeah.
bunch of episodes. Yeah. So that's like he's like second in command to Spielberg. So that's
Yeah.
like big time stuff. Yeah.
those
But
are
that
my,
episode was great. So,
I also had on my list. I had Gremlins. I had Christmas Evil.
yeah.
I had.
How do you not have Gremlins on there? I feel
I
like.
had
Yeah,
Gremlins,
that
yeah,
covers
mine.
my whole list.
Yeah.
So.
That
Okay.
was just
Um,
a formality.
Kat, Andrew, do you guys have any honorable
I'll
mentions?
go with
to
my
talk
one
about?
honorable mention. I just watched it. It's a 2023 film.
Mhm.
It's called The Sacrifice Game.
Okay.
I thought it was actually surprisingly pretty good. I was entertained by it. Usually, this is the type of movie that I would be like, rather not watch this movie, but I was very entertained by it. It was an interesting story. So it's basically like there's this girls' school, very Black Christmas in this aspect. So there's these two girls at the girls' school, and they don't get to go home for Christmas vacation because they don't have any family. So they're stuck staying there with their teacher and her teacher's girlfriend and all that.
Cool.
And this group of like Charlie Manson type cult murderers shows up at the school and tries to kill everybody. And it gets, I don't want to give it away because I'm giving too much away at this
So you
By the way,
okay?
you
Great.
bother, honestly.
Nice job.
point. What?
Nice job on your soliloquy on your.
Well, I don't want to give it
Okay.
away.
I know.
It's
What is
an interesting
happening
movie.
right now?
So like they're basically.
I need the two of
it's
you to
like
explain what's
basically-
going on.
I
Hold on,
was
wait,
trying to explain it to you. but I
Matt
can't give it
and I are
away.
observers. You two go. Honestly, because I wish
She spilled her own fucking drink. I was sitting here talking about a movie that I had watched, and I didn't want to give it all away, so I didn't give it all away in depth. The fuck are you talking about?
good lord.
I'm
Good
just saying,
Lord.
don't fucking fuck with me.
Oh, I'm so
Talking about-
scared. Oh,
Don't
my
fucking
God.
talk to me like that.
Dude, are you kidding me? Don't talk to you like what? I'm fucking around with you. We're talking about a podcast.
I
Don't
need
be a
a
bitch.
cake pizza.
Good lord.
Don't compare me to
This is a
her.
joke.
Oh,
It's just a joke, to be fair.
go ahead.
Kind
Continue.
of.
Go on with the
It's
I don't
kind
even know
of
what
a
the
joke,
fuck
but
I was
it's
talking
not
about
really
at this
I
point.
don't know.
We're
what-
talking
Because
about
it was your turn,
No,
you fucking
He
retard.
was the one who said, "You are the no." That's what he did.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking retard.
we were talking about honorable mentions. Did you have any?
He said that to. But wait, he
Cat.
said it to you.
I said the sacrifice game.
The sacrifice game.
do.
I heard
And then
talking
you
about
started
sacrifice.
ridiculing me about my pick.
Exactly. That's what I was talking
Okay,
about.
so where were we before that happened?
Do you want to go to me? Because
No, I would like to continue. I was just like, where were we? We just stopped out of
I
nowhere.
have honorable mention.
No, I just, where were we?
You were talking about the sacrifice game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So where in that conversation was I?
Anyways,
I mean, I can't tell you
my
exactly where.
I guess we don't need to
my honorable mentions were The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I was surprised you didn't pick that.
I thought you would have for sure.
Well, no, because I feel like I do that all the time. Like
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love Tim Burton movies. Big Fish is my favorite movie of all time. Like I could watch Big Fish
Sad
every single
Saddest movie
day.
ever.
I love it.
Sometimes I used to wonder if you were white. Now I'm very certain that you are like the whitest person ever. So there's that.
I
That's
love
cool.
I love Big Fish. That's my favorite movie ever.
Because you're white.
Um
Cool.
and beyond that, I also had so the Purge series. Remember we watched that for a little bit?
We did. Yeah, we did. We sure did.
My voice just
It's okay.
got gradually higher.
You did. It did. It's all right.
Gargantuan.
Season 2, episode 6 is called Happy Holidays, and which I watched the entire thing last night, and I didn't get any sort of Christmas vibes. Maybe for some fucking reason it takes place during Christmas time, but regardless,
I mean, it's called Happy Holidays.
I
Maybe
know
it
that.
did,
That's-
like, I
You,
have no
you
idea.
I
didn't
know
convince me
that.
to watch any of that.
I didn't understand, but I watched it, and so The Purge. You guys all know the series. You didn't. I mean,
The movie.
You
I
didn't
watched
know
the
the
series,
movies.
yeah.
You didn't watch the series.
The
That's what I
series
meant to say.
was okay. It had
The
its
series
moments.
was
Yeah, it
fine.
was fine.
This I actually remember because this girl who is the one who's in
Girl.
this thing she looks like she looks like from the Matrix, not Nero, but fucking the girl.
Carrie Ann Moss.
No, fucking whatever her name is, the girl.
No, her
There's
name in
Nero and the girl.
Matrix.
Like there's two
It's like
girls.
Nemo.
whatever the fuck her name
What's her
is.
fucking name? Yeah,
Exactly. What's her
Yep.
fucking name?
What's her-
It's like,
Give him like a full name. Like,
the Matrix. You have
She said,
Nero
"I gave you
and
the actress
girl.
name."
What's
Yeah,
the
what's
girl's
her name?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't like the fucking
Artemis?
Matrix movies. You guys figure it out.
Artemis.
You like it
No,
clearly.
it's not, you know Matrix. You don't like
Oh
the
my God.
Matrix?
No, those movies stink.
Who does it?
Oh
who
my
thinks that
God.
that- I was like, who does it-
Stop that.
There's Nero and oh my, whatever. her
She's
fucking
still like
name
a
is.
lesbian
Anyways,
looking bitch. Like she's just
she's
standing
not.
out there.
No,
Like,
don't
At
say-
this point,
you
we're just
can't
wasting
say that.
Shauna's time. You can't
Okay.
say
Well,
that.
she brought
on
that
there,
up.
Andrew.
I
Fucking say that.
just said she looks like the girl from the Matrix. I mean, you have to say
She looks like a
God.
dude.
okay.
So she's kind of a lesbian dude.
right.
She kinda
What
is.
else do we have to contribute about honorable mentions for this draft tonight? May we move on?
May we be yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas and that
Shauna, I wish
other,
you best of luck, brother.
That's it. for
Okay,
me.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Always a nice choice.
Thanks.
Andrew, you went over yours.
I've already
Matt-
given all mine.
Yep, Matt, you went over yours. So I had Dead End.
Yeah. I hadn't
You
seen
said it was
You guys see this
disappointing.
movie?
You said it was disappointing.
So I had seen it before today, and I watched it today in preparation for this episode, and I didn't like it as much as I remembered. I was kind of disappointed. It's from 2003. A lot of the dialogue is very like cringy, like this is bad writing.
Does it have the guy from Pet Detective Part 2?
Pet Detective.
Pet to
Pet Detective Part 2? The German
I
guy?
love.
Wait, are you talking about
Like-
I love
like
Pet
Ace
Detective.
Ventura?
Oh, yeah, Ace Ventura Part 2. Is that the
No,
same
no,
German
no,
guy that's
no.
in this?
No, he's.
Are you sure about that?
No,
Are
he's
you
not.
sure about
No,
that?
he's not. No, he's not. He's not. So this has Lynn Shay of Insidious and Nightmare
looks
on
like
Elm
him,
Street
though.
fame,
Pet Detective.
along with Ray Wise, who you've seen him in a million things, but like Twin Peaks, like David Lynch stuff. He's in a bunch of
So
stuff.
is he in Dark Knight?
No, he was not in Dark Knight. No, he was.
Oh,
not in
Ray
Dark
Weiss.
Knight.
Was he in that?
Ray Wise.
Was he in
Wise.
the Departed?
No.
Give me a fucking.
Are you doing
Oh,
a
that's
bit?
Ray Winston. That's
He
it.
must
Ray
be.
Winston. Yes.
Ray
No.
Winston.
He's
I was
just
confusing him with him. That's
he's an
all.
obscure actor, is what I'm trying to
Ray
say. But
Wise.
you've seen him in David Lynch stuff, is what I'm trying to say. But it's like, yeah, it's okay. Like I was looking forward to rewatching it today, thinking it would be a lot better than it was, and it was just like, it was all right. It was fine. So that was in my honorable mentions. But it's basically a family that is going driving to a grandmother's house. It's like 5 people on Christmas Eve, and they're just all of a sudden on this road forever, and they can't figure out why they can't get off this road, and all this weird shit starts happening. It's like, okay, so what's going on? It's almost like a lost
That's a
Twilight
Christmas
Zone
horror
episode.
story, right?
No, it's
It's like
Dead End.
what's that fucking
Oh, Dead End?
Southbound?
Southbound. It's
Oh,
very similar
Southbound.
to
I
yeah.
love that movie.
So yeah, Dead End.
South-
I also had written down the episode of Tales from the Crypt, because it's such a shame that you can't watch that on HBO Max.
I own
Because
it.
It's just I know I need to get the DVDs.
I own it.
Anyway, and
That's
yeah,
why you do physical media.
that's what I got. That's what I got, you guys. So I think we've completed a draft.
Ye-
Can we
Too.
restate what our picks are, or whoever can restate what their picks are, restate their
Go for my
picks?
picks.
I'll go first. I had Gremlins, the X-Files episode, How the Ghost Stole Christmas, followed by Krampus.
I'm gonna say I had White Christmas, Christmas Evil, and I don't remember my last pick.
Oh,
But it
that's
was
okay.
good.
And White Christmas, by the way, was a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, but that was my
Yes.
third pick.
Very nice.
That was your
Those are-
first.
that was your
pick,
first.
You
That was your
No,
douche,
but
you
I view that
fucking
as- I
asshole.
view it
You
in
did my
reverse.
fucking pick.
You give your worst picks
think I
first.
only
and
had
then no, I was
Your
in reverse.
worst picks? That was my first.
You picked
pick.
it first. You picked it first, is what she was
That's not
saying. And yes,
fair.
you did pick it first.
But that was my worst pick.
Matt, who did you pick?
I had Black
What did you
Christmas.
Yes.
I had Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I had Don't Open Till Christmas.
Kat, what about you?
Oh, I had my new movie.
I had Stranger Things season 1.
Episode
Way to be
3.
so fucking just
So,
da-da-da-da.
Nosferatu season 1, episode 1. Christmas Horror Story.
Okay.
And Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas. That was
That's a good pick.
you're just stop.
I have
Stop.
I have to pee very
All
bad.
right. I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
Okay.
No, actually not. We're gonna finish this right now. Sit down.
Honestly, go. It's okay. It's
No,
all right.
I can
No.
finish it without.
Honest-
All right.
just-
All right. Ready? What else?
All right. So I think we're all done here. I think
Great.
it's
This is true.
we've reached our expiration date. We're turning into a pumpkin, and we're going to come back maybe next week, maybe the week after. We're trying to figure out what our schedule's
We're
going
gonna
to be.
take next
But we're
week
coming up
off.
with a couple
We
of
don't
big
know yet.
episodes.
We don't know if we're
We
doing
do.
it. Nope.
We know.
We
Yes.
have an Andrew birthday selection for something. We're not sure what that's going to be yet, followed by our top 10 horror movies of 2023, followed by our 200th episode celebration. So all those will be coming at you at some point in the next month or so. And that's what I got. So why don't we sign off while we're ahead here? And guys, say goodbye to your audience.
Adios, muchachos.
Merry
Good
Christmas.
evening.
Happy holidays.
Goodbye.
Happy holidays.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and I want to say thanks again for listening to another episode of our show. If you're interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I'd highly recommend you check out the shows from our friends over on the Inebriart Podcast Network. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find shows from Inebriart, the Old Colony Cast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, and Retro Redoctopus, so head on over and give them a listen.